One second, guys. What's going on, guys? It's GZTV back with another video. Sorry for some technical difficulties at the start. I had to find my notes. It's GZTV. We're back with another video. In this video, we will be discussing the 8th episode of Dexter New Blood. Again, we're kind of like winding down that series. We're winding down The Walking Dead. Soon we're going to have completely new things to watch. We're going to be watching The Sopranos soon. We're going to be watching Ozark soon. Unless someone else has a different series that I haven't watched that you want to suggest in the comments, I'd be fine with that. I'll watch it just for your request. I mean, it can be a mini series. It can be a full-on series. I don't really care. But we have Unfair Game here. I kind of just woke up. I know I kind of slept in a little bit this time. I usually do, I mean, for the last couple days anyways, I've been doing early videos. But here we go. We're going to start editing these episode reactions very soon. Like, when I'm in college, you're going to get an edited video once a day. I don't think I'm going to do 2 videos a day. But yeah, once a day. Yeah, for sure. So, getting into the plot of this episode. So, Dexter has been kidnapped by Elric Kane, played by Shuler Hensley. He's like a new character that got introduced at the end of the last episode, and is being driven to meet with Kurt. So, he pretty much kidnapped him so he can bring him to watch his son pretty much die. That's pretty much their whole plan. You can kind of like realize that from the beginning. So, Dexter uses his cuffs to attack Kane and cause the car to crash, causing Dexter to be ejected through the windshield. Most people would fucking die from that, but I guess Dexter's the main character. He's the titular, however you say that, character of the series, so he can't die that way. Kane then starts shooting at Dexter with a rifle, hitting him in the leg and prompting him to flee into the woods. So now it's pretty much a cat and mouse game. You know, they're running through the woods. Dexter might as well be the cat now because he's not going to die. What the hell? While talking with Angela, Logan accidentally mentions that Dexter attacked a dealer outside a bar for supplying drugs to his son. This whole altercation was something that Angela wasn't aware of, so she finds out about it and she's just kind of confused. She questions the dealer Miles, who states that Dexter asked him for drugs, injected him with a needle, and then punched him when the police arrived. She knew something was kind of fishy, so she wanted to kind of get the official story out of Miles, and she did in a way. So there you have it. Now she knows that Dexter beat the shit out of him for pretty much no reason. Obviously, he used it as an excuse like, oh, stay away from my son. You know, but there was no reason for him to attack him right in that moment. She also learns from Logan that Miles' supplier, Jasper Hodge, was found dead in his apartment, and due to the time coincidences, she starts suspecting that Dexter might have killed him. And there's no foul play detected at the moment in like the autopsy and stuff, but it's like she's really thinking that Dexter might have did this. Meanwhile, Harrison is picked up by Kurt and they visit the high school where Kurt shows him matched trophies in multiple sports, and this is kind of like a second father to son bonding moment between the two. He's using it to kind of to have Harrison warm up to him so he can get him in his cabin and manipulate him pretty much and ultimately kill him because he wants to take that away from Dexter. I'm not really sure what his motives to kill Harrison. I feel like it is that because he does not fuck with Dexter at all. Obviously, Dexter suspects him of a lot of things, and yeah. He then teaches Harrison to hit a baseball, although he uses a machine also to hit him, causing Harrison angrily to remember all of his confrontations with his father. It's like this fucking school shooter thing. I'm not really sure if I like how this show is painting grown-up Harrison's character to be, but that's kind of strange. So, back in the woods, Dexter lays a false trail to mislead Kane, while he escapes via a different route, leaving a confused Kane to look for him through the forest. Dexter finally makes his way to a closed summer camp, where he finds many instruments in the kitchen. As night falls, Kane finds the camp and is attacked by Dexter with a kitchen knife. So he's pretty much hiding out in the building. Kane gets in there. Dexter stabs him. Yeah. Kane claims that he planned on taking him to Kurt's cabin and that it wasn't anything personal. But Dexter still kills him with the knife before leaving the scene in Kane's truck. And there we go. Dexter's kind of reverting back to his killer ways. We know how Dexter is. He's never going to leave his dark passenger behind. And that would make for a really boring series if he did. So there you go. Meanwhile, Angela investigates Jasper's death and finds another sign of a needle being injected in his neck, making her realize that Dexter was also involved there. He gets the animal tranquilizers. That's Dexter's signature, and Angela is starting to pick up on that. So that's really interesting. So at the cabin, Harrison starts receiving text messages from Dexter to get out, but decides to ignore it, thinking that his father's crazy, thinking that he's being overprotective and being kind of jealous and all these types of things. All these things are probably flying through Harrison's mind as he's reading these texts, but no, you need to get the fuck out of there. And Harrison starts to realize it. He starts to pick up these signs that something isn't right with Kurt. Once you get to know him, he's a very weird, very fucked up, deranged dude, you know? He then dines with Kurt, with both bonding over their respective personalities. I mean, they have some bonding moments. They can connect on a lot of levels. They both were on the wrestling team. I mean, they both were athletes to some respect. They both tried to get girls, all that type of stuff. Harrison also reveals that he went looking for his father for a connection that he's probably might never get, and expresses frustration about his father hiding secrets from him. He knows he's hiding even more from him. He left him for reasons more than what he says he did, because there's no way you would randomly abandon your son. That, like, Dexter loved his son. He was a good father. All of a sudden he had to leave. Like, you know what I mean? And Harrison at the time didn't necessarily understand why. So Kurt leaves for a moment and returns with his rifle and ski mask, the signature outfit he's been wearing throughout the season, stating that it is time to pay for the sins of the father. That is kind of his MO, which is fucking weird because, I don't know. He instructs him to run as he targets him just as Dexter arrives in the truck. Obviously some plot convenient devices here, Dexter arriving just on time. Dexter fails to run Kurt over, but his appearance prompts him to flee. Dexter reunites with Harrison and both leave the cabin. So Dexter saves his son's life. He finally does something for him for fucking once, and there you have it. It's not going to fully make amends, but they can recover. So at her house, Angela continues investigating Miles and Jasper, as both were injected with ketamine, and these are some crazy coincidences that she's starting to piece together. She decides to search homicides in Miami related to ketamine, eventually finding more about the Bay Harbor Butcher, when she's possibly connecting the Bay Harbor Butcher to being Dexter, because he's still at large. Nobody really thinks that Dokes did this at this point. Back in the truck, Harrison asks about what happened, and Dexter decides that it is time to tell him everything. And this is all Harrison wants, is for him to find the truth. That's why he wanted to get back to his father. He explains that Harrison is not alone in his dark thoughts, and that he will teach him a code to help him. He will pretty much do what his father Harry did to him. No, man, not good. Harrison then embraces Dexter, making Dexter think that this was not only what Harrison needed, but what he himself needed. This is what he needed for his family to strive. And it's a really beautiful moment between the two, and it's really nice leading up to like the last two episodes. I'm not really sure what those are going to entail. Obviously, Kurt is still at large himself, so yeah. I loved this episode. I think it was great. Unfair Game was an exciting chapter that gave us Dexter on the defensive physically, which is something we don't often get to see. Mostly, I mean, usually it's a mental chess game full of hurried errands involving the hiding of evidence, but here was full-on wilderness survival mode, and it's really cool to see Dexter be kind of the mouse for a moment. You know, you don't really get to see that often in the series, and they're kind of taking different directions. I love it. It would have been better, perhaps, as a sniper rifle showdown with Kurt, but Kurt was busy unspooling his own devilish plot, which itself lent a great deal to the season overall, raising his villain profile and multiple remote cabin owner profile considerably. I would say this is about a B episode. I think it's pretty good. I mean, while not a complete disappointment, Unfair Game is, I mean, it is oddly paced and edited throughout, even as it finally brings the season's long-simmering plot lines to a head. Some of the plot lines, like, are we sure they ended here? These are some of the critics I'm reading, by the way. So, if my theory about Dexter Jim dying at the end of this is correct, will it be him, Angela, or Harrison who does it? Will he kill himself? Will Kurt kill him? Will Harrison kill him? Will Angela kill him? Harrison will be the most dynamic option out of the three, but my money's on Batista. This is New Blood, though, and I'm bracing for the disappointment of none of this happening, and for the last scene of the series being Dexter driving to the sunset, giving the camera a little wink. Barf at the thought of it. I don't know. Anyway, Unfair Game inches things forward, but only slightly. The main takeaway is that Harrison and Dexter seem to have mended their broken relationship, and if the war between Dexter and Kurt wasn't officially on, it certainly is now. With 2 episodes left, hopefully Dexter New Blood quits stalling and really starts showing its endgame, which, I don't know. I mean, I guess it is stalling a little bit. In an already pretty superb season, Unfair Game has got to be one of the most streamlined episodes thus far. It was focused, well-paced, These are just different critics. I know I'm kind of like contradicting myself. And unrelentingly suspenseful. There's no time to waste now. Secrets are out. Everything is coming to a head. And yeah, these last 2 episodes are going to be extremely, extremely important for this series. Not just for the spinoff, but like the entire show. Because this is how, as of now, the story ends. I don't think they plan on doing any more spinoffs. I don't believe they're going to be doing any more epilogues. I think this is it. Because fans are giving pretty negative reviews in some of the later seasons, so I think they know it's time to stop. I mean, obviously there's the whole money grab thing in Hollywood, but I don't know. I think these creators, you know, as artistic as a show as Dexter was, as creative as it was, I think they know when to stop and know when the vision is blurred out, you know. So leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm out, guys. Make sure you check out my edited video I'm dropping. I know most of you guys only watch my edited videos because those are what actually display on my main page. But go to the live tab.